I hope a few people pop on today. I did not schedule this live, guys. We've had a few things going on today. Seems like the last couple of Sundays have been just super busy, which is weird because usually they're really relaxed. Um, and so I did not do a reminder of our live, and I did not schedule this live. It's just my usual Sunday live. And so hopefully somebody pops on and has a chit chat with me. If not, we'll be okay. 16. Hello, whoever's there. They're gone now. Somebody popped in. Y'all don't mind the hat. The temperature has dropped and it's just super cold. And I've got a big bun on top of my head. I didn't have a hat on today. But I'm sitting out on the porch and I need my hat. It's cold. And so my head looks goofy. It looks like a big old mess. I'm going to give it a few minutes. Nobody pops on, it's going to be really awkward. And so if nobody pops on, maybe we'll try again tomorrow. But hopefully somebody pops on and we can have a little Sunday chit chat. Sunday. Queenie's found something to growl at. I hope everybody had a wonderful Thanksgiving. If you celebrate Thanksgiving, we are having our Thanksgiving supper today, this Sunday, with my father-in-law and mother-in-law. We did my side of family. We did it on actual Thanksgiving Day. So that's what we got going on today, and among other things. And we can talk about it if somebody pops on here. Now come hang out with me. It is a wet, cold day. We got rain that sat in around noon, and it has been raining and then stopping for maybe just about 20 minutes and starting back, and it's starting rain and starting back, and 40 degrees, and the temperature's going to be dropping down in the 20s, and maybe possibly snow, and so it's temperature's going down quick, and I am not looking forward to it. Maybe the snow. Might be looking forward to the snow. I don't like the cold though. Somebody pop on so it's not so awkward. Hello! Looks like somebody's here. Thanks for joining me. If you want to leave a comment down below and have a chit chat with me, this is our Sunday where I just talk a lot, I guess. Sunday talk a lot. Sunday fun day. I did not schedule. Hello, how are you doing? It looks cold out and I can barely hear, but it may just be my phone. Cassidy, I'll move it a little bit closer. Can you hear me now? Let me know if you can hear me any better. And Dawn, if you can't hear me, let me know. I hear better. Okay, it's probably my phone then. I'm glad you all showed up. Thank you for being here. I've been spending the last 3 minutes talking to myself. Okay. How are you doing, Taz? I'm sitting out on the porch, shaking. It's different. A little bit. I'm dressed warm, but I don't got my shoes on. I'm sitting with my socks and my feet are cold. I wonder what the background noise is. Y'all, I don't know. It seems like the connection when we're out here at the farm is horrible. It does a lot better when I'm at home, but out here at the farm it's awful. holding the baby while she naps. Oh, getting all the baby cuddles in. Yeah, switch phones, trash, and let me know if it's any better. Thank you for letting me know, Dawn. I don't know if it's just where I'm at or what. I think I'm gonna have to get a new phone. We're just having problems with this one. But it's one of those things. It's a good day for a nap here too. It's cold and rainy. I had a couple things that I had to do. Unfortunately, it's Sunday, and I try to rest on Sunday. I try to, you know, let the Lord's day be the Lord's day. But we had a fella come pick up some rabbits. I usually don't try to sell on Sundays, but he had a situation come up where he couldn't pick the rabbits up, and so he had to pick them up today. And so we had to do that and get ready for him to pick the rabbits up. And of course, it's never really a day that nothing happens, because it's always animals. Always got to feed the animals and water the animals and get the animals everything that they need. And sometimes you got to doctor them on Sundays, just depending on what happens. But I'll tell you one thing that has made it easier. We finally got a big roll bale out in the goat pasture. And if you've seen our video of us trying to move that, or getting that roll bale moved, you might wouldn't know. But we did get a big roll bale, and it is really nice. Yeah, always. It's every day. I can't imagine what it's going to be like if I ever get me some dairy goats or a dairy cow, because I'll just have that one more thing to do. You know what though? It would be a blessing though. I might would complain about it. I don't know, but like, I guess where I don't have an animal right now that I can milk, I would just, I don't know. I'd love that. I'd love to have an animal to milk every day. People that milk are probably like, you're nuts. But yeah, putting that big roll bale out in the goat pasture has been a big help. Not having to carry the flakes out there to them. Now they just get hay all day when they want it. That's really, really nice. Is it a rainy, cold day where you're at, Dawn? We're about, I think we started at 40 degrees, and I think we're supposed to get down. I was gonna check my phone, and I'm on it. I think we're supposed to get. I talked to my mom earlier, and I think we're supposed to get down in the 20s. Oh no. Well, good, Chastity. I'm glad you can hear me. Oh man, I hate that. You know what? Those hawks have terrorized us all summer. And yesterday, see, they kept getting our little babies. See, mine free range too, which we do have a fenced-in pasture, and they do have, the run that they can get under, and the chicken house that they can go in. But little babies, we lost so many, we lost count of how many we were losing. It's not rainy, but kind of overcast and cold. Not rainy. Yeah, it's overcast and cold and rainy, and maybe with a possibility of snow this evening. But yeah, them hawks are terrorizers, and we've got like what they call like a bird hawk, and I think those are bad to get chickens. And then we've got the big hawk. And I've seen big hawks fly over top, and we live by a big, well, kind of, just a few miles away from us, in the next county or so, there is a big lake. It's a fairly known lake, and it's huge, and they have eagles and hawks and everything, and so sometimes you see them flying over top of the farm here, but those hawks are, as far as I know, we haven't lost any birds or any animals to anything this year besides hawks. Well, I take that back. Forgive me, and I'll ask the Lord to forgive me. We lost babies to cats. Our neighbor has up the road here has a lot of cats, and we had cats come down here eating our baby chicks. We used to let free range when we had chickens, and they ate up the chicks in our yard. Yeah, they're really handy for that. You all had guineas too, and I tried to I tried to talk Andy into guineas when you all got guineas too, but he said no. He just said no again. I heard my chicken squawking and opened the door and to see a small hawk swoop away. I had chickens hiding. Quite a scare. Yeah, yeah. See, I'm where we have a lot of birds. We have over 100 birds, and sometimes we keep track of the babies we have, but then about no to the guineas. Yeah, he won't let me have none. He says they're too loud, and they run off. And they do run off. I know they're bad to just like just go wherever they want and never come back home. But yeah, we lost. I think when we added it up, it was high. It was in the double digits. I want to say 70, somewhere in there. Baby chicks, hawks. Yeah, not so fun. A lot of them are my husband's heritage breed chickens too, which are high dollar chickens. I know. See, before we got all these chickens, before we had over 100 chickens, yeah, yeah, it's a lot of chickens to lose, especially when some of them we know we lost to cats, um, but we let them free range with our parents. But some of them, and they just get out. So we've got that welded wire, um, no climb fencing, and a baby chick can fit through that pretty easy. Um, yeah, the anyways, I want a guinea so bad. And Chastity on here, who's messaging, she is married to my husband's cousin, and they had guineas. And then when they got them, I was like, Andy, I want some guineas. Hi, how are you? Um, I want a guineas, but we had what I was trying to say. I've done lost my train of thought. Before we had 100 chickens, or around 100 chickens. Sometimes, depending on the year, we have over 100 chickens. Um, we had ticks so bad, and I don't know if in your area you all have what they call deer ticks. We had the little turkey mite ticks, we have dog ticks, we have deer ticks, and we have the little turkey mite ticks. And the turkey mite ticks are so tiny. They are so small that my husband had a relative that had a little boy that a turkey mite tick got into his eye and attached itself to his eyeball. He was a little feller. He's like a young boy, like 5 or 6, maybe 7, somewhere in that range, and it got attached to his eye. And they had to take him to the hospital to get it removed. But those ticks are really, really bad in our area, and I think it's where it's a damp area, and there's a lot of woods in our area. But I wanted them because every time we go outside, we end up with some type of tick. But I will say, he did say no to the, the guineas, but I will say that since we had the amount of chickens that we have, um, we don't have problems with ticks anymore. Also, I've heard that they're good for snakes if you have snakes in your area, and we do have snakes. Our 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 area, Appalachia in general, is known for a lot of poisonous snakes like cottonmouth and timber rattlers, rattlesnakes, copperheads, things like that. That's in the summertime, but it's you see a lot of them dead on the road. They get run over. So our area is really bad for snakes and really bad for ticks. And so when I heard that they were good, when the guineas were good for ticks and sorry, I'm getting a message here. Ticks and snakes, I thought, wow, we need them. And then my husband said, absolutely not. Also, he said no to peacocks for the same reason. I want a peacock. Oh, I want a peacock. I'd take 2 peacocks. I'd take 3, 4 peacocks. I would. Somebody wanted to give me a peacock, I would take it. But he says absolutely not because they're loud. I guess they're about as loud as a guinea, or maybe louder. We've got around 100. We have around 100 chickens. Hi, how are you doing? We've got big stock, and I have 21 big stock. Oh man, peacock screams like women scared me when I had him as a kid. Yeah, that's what he says no to loud birds. But if any of you all have watched my videos, you know that we have like a million chickens and you hear roosters in the background all the time. I mean, let's just add to the band. Let's just add to the noise. It's when I think, but he says no. But yeah, uh, we have about 100 chickens. Um, my husband raises heritage breed chickens. They're show chickens, um, and sorry, you got a phone call. That's okay. Um, they're they're uh, they're show chickens, and so they're in like breeding pairs. But they do free range when they're small. Yes, we free range our chickens. Um, we free range all of the chickens besides the breeding pairs that my husband has for his heritage breed chickens. Um, but we also have the big stock chickens. I have 21 big stock chickens. A few of them are roosters though, and they will be hopefully going to freezer camp soon. We were talking about that the other day. They're getting big enough where they're starting to pick on the girls, and so they're going to need to find a new place to live. If you catch my drift. I've tried to sell them. I try to give everything a chance. Before I eat it, I try to give everything a chance because I feel like that's the fair thing to do. But nobody has needed any roosters in our area, and so uh, nobody has needed any roosters in our area. But so they'll probably go to freezer camp. I might give them one more chance, um, but they're a good size. So I have, like I said, I have 21 big stock chickens, and then my husband has his heritage breed chickens. He has a lot more chickens than I do, but altogether over 100. Um, if I asked him right now, he could probably count them out one by one and tell me the exact number, but it's somewhere over 100. And as of now, we've got the what's it called, incubator out, and so we've got eggs in the incubator as well. And so, and I want to tell I want to go ahead and tell people something that we've figured out. If you are going to, typically a hen's not going to go broody in the wintertime. Um, they just don't lay. Your big stock chickens just don't lay very well in the wintertime. Now, his heritage breed chickens lay all year long and they lay really well in the wintertime. And of course, those eggs, the eggs are, uh, they're important eggs. They're show eggs. They're high quality. They're expensive eggs. That he's he has expensive birds, and so, um, and of course they're show birds, and so we typically don't eat their eggs. But we incubate them and we hatch the babies out. And something that we've figured out is if you hatch your babies out throughout the winter, especially um, in the winter, by early spring, they're big enough that they don't get sick as much. If you have chickens, um, if you hatch chickens out in the summertime, they don't get sick as much. And if you hatch chickens out in the summertime, me and Dawn were talking about hawks getting baby chicks. We found that by the summertime or by the springtime and summertime, when the hawks are after the babies, they're big enough that they don't really go after them. We don't have as much losses in the summertime from the big birds. Usually, if a big bird has gotten, if something has gotten a big bird, it's usually a fox or a coon, a raccoon, or a possum. That is our main predators around here. When we've lost big chickens, it's been raccoons, foxes, and possums. Possums have been really bad, um, and foxes is our two big things. We have a livestock guardian now, and since then we haven't lost any to um, foxes and foxes or um, possums because we have the livestock guardian dog. But we have lost some, like I said, the baby chicks to hawks. Now, the dog will bark when he sees a hawk and things like that, but if the baby chick is out of the range that the dog can, uh, can maybe get the hawk, obviously, usually hawks pick up their food and fly off with it too. It's a little bit too late. Usually by the time he can get to where he needs to be, but he does protect from the mammals or the rodents. Are they? They're not mammals. Well, is a fox a mammal? The furred predators we have in the area. He protects us from the birds and everything. The rabbits, the goats, from the furred predators. Um, but something we have found that when we hatch off chicks in the winter and in very early spring, really really early spring is about too late. But if you hatch them off in the wintertime, our birds seem more resistant to disease. Our baby chicks seem more resistant to disease. Um, they're larger size, um, obviously, than a chicken that you will hatch off in the springtime, and they're less prone to getting caught up by predators or taken by predators because they're of a large size. And so, when a lot of people are not getting baby chicks because typically your hens are going to go broody in the summer and the springtime, we're hatching off babies, and we've got happy, healthy, um, strong babies that are a little bit more predator proof than they would be if we hatched them off in the spring. You asked about the heritage breed chickens. I call them heritage breed. A lot of people know them as game chickens, but there's a bad stigma that goes with the game chickens. We do not promote or encourage the abuse or fighting of chickens. And so I don't really like to call them game chickens. I call them heritage breed chickens because of the stigma that goes around it. But we don't fight chickens. We raise game chickens, but we do not fight chickens. Um, they are just for show purposes. And so that's why usually when you hear me talk about them, you hear me talk about heritage breed chickens because I do not like the name or the stigma that comes with uh, the the word or the word game chicken. And so when I talk about them, that's why I talk about them in that way. They are just show chickens. They're not they're not used for that purpose in any way, shape, or form. And so it we actually have them. I don't know if I've ever heard of them. Is that a type of chicken? Yes, game, GAME, game chicken. But I don't like calling them that because it has a bad stigma with it. It's anything. They are used for like the purpose that you would use like a Baney chicken or a um, yes, they are a specific breed. There's actually different lines of the breed of game chickens. There's different types, different colors, um, and height, width, size, all of it. They're
a total different, um, they're just a different type of bird. It's real, it's like the difference between, that's why I call mine big stock and his heritage, because they're, they're built different, made different, they look different, in a lot of ways. I mean, they look like a chicken, but they also look different in a lot of ways. um, but uh, that's why they're show animals, because they are different. If you've ever been to like a state fair or anything like that, and people have like veiny chickens, and they have what I call heritage breed chickens or big stock chickens, um, the heritage breed chickens have different names, different lines that go with them, different bloodlines, just like any type of animal, like a boar goat. We have boar goats. I'm googling them. Yeah, they look different. Who knew? Well, you did. I didn't. Yeah, yeah, they're beautiful birds. They're beautiful birds. I just don't. I don't. I don't. I don't like. I don't talk about them much because I don't like the stigma that goes with them. A lot of people see them one way.
Red, white, and blue feet originated in France chickens. That's neat. Wow.
I'm gonna have to look those up after we get off here. I'm definitely gonna have to look those up.
Yeah, for sure. Um, Dom, the heritage breed chickens, or what I call a heritage breed chicken, I call them heritage because it is a heritage in our area. It's very in the Appalachian. It's very, it's a common thing. Um, common in our area. I don't know if it's not specific to our area, but it's just, I guess, more common in our area. My husband was raised um, breeding those type of chickens, and so
that's why he does it. It's just
childhood to him. Living Traditions channel. So awesome. I'll have to. I don't know if I've
ever heard of this. I've never heard of them. So that's very interesting. I will definitely have to look them up. And I don't know if I follow. I'm subscribed to Living Traditions, but they sound that sounds like a neat channel that I need to check out. I might be, but I don't know.
Wow.
That's really neat. See, you learn something new every single day, and that's why I love this community. That's why I love this community, because you can always learn something new. It's very interesting.
Wow. I, hmm.
Yeah, it sounds like they're a good meat chicken. Bless your heart, me and you both. I'm confused often. That sounds like that sounds like a motto. So I have to get that as a bumper sticker. I'm confused often. Bless your heart, me and you both. Sometimes I'm. Sometimes I am too. Sometimes I am too. Ain't nobody perfect but the Lord. That's for sure. So what have you all been into? I've done a bunch of talking. So what has everybody been into? Y'all, leave some comments and let me know what y'all been into. In the beginning of the video, I was talking about Cornish cross.
Can't walk. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a big thing with the Cornish cross. But I've looked into. Now y'all tell me if y'all tell me if this is a good idea or not. Trying to learn to hunt deer, archery. I tell you what,
You done got me.
We want to do it. We want to do it. But here's the thing. I want to learn how to cook deer meat correctly. If I'm going to hunt something, see, we eat squirrel and things like that. if I'm going to hunt something, I want to learn how to do it properly. I want to learn how to cook the meat properly. I want to learn how to field dress the animal properly. I want to learn all the things. And so I don't believe in killing things just because. I know there's some people that hunt racks and stuff, and I don't see nothing wrong with hunting a rack if you're using the meat and using the animal in the proper way. I don't see nothing wrong with, getting big bucks or anything like that. But if I'm going to do something, I want to do it the right way. And so me and my husband have talked this year about um, archery.
Yeah. And Keith, a wonderful stew. Last year, a friend got me a doe.
He field dressed it, and I processed it. See, yeah. I know that there's ways to cook it and there's ways to not. And I've had venison. Um, since me and my husband have been together, neither one of us has hunted deer. He said he didn't really like it, but I've had it where it's absolutely delicious, and then I've had it where it's so chewy you can't even swallow it. You just have to spit it out. I've had it where it tastes good and where it tastes bad, um, and it's real gamey. And I don't like a real gamey taste. Um, I don't mind a little game in the taste, but I don't like old tough, gamey taste in meat. And so if I'm gonna do it, I want to do it right. I want to learn the correct way of doing it. And so, and I feel like if I'm gonna do it, I want to learn the whole process from start to finish. I want to learn how to hunt the animal in a proper way, and I want to learn how to cook the animal in a proper way, and everything in between, field dress, process, all of that. I want to learn how to do all of it. Um, and so, and I want it done. I want to do it the right way. I don't want to take an animal's life just because. And so, I don't think that that's fair to the animal, and I don't really believe in just hunting racks and things like that. It's probably a pretty it's probably a pretty steep goal. Um, but we have a lot of people in our area that if I asked them, and they had the time, that they would probably be willing to teach me. And so I need to get on it. Um, I need to get on it and really learn and dig deep. We've just kind of talked about it here and there this year, and so maybe next year we can get educated. We can educate ourselves well, and maybe talk to a few people and have a few people kind of show us the right way of doing things. But yeah, I wanna learn everything. That's my goal. I wanna learn everything from start to finish. I wanna do it right. Which not to say when people do that they're doing it wrong. I don't mean to sound mean about it, but that's just how I feel. All right, Chase. I'm glad you're back. Family Trails, though, he'd probably be able to teach a few things. His channel, he shows some hunting. Some hunting on his channel. Everybody check him out. Me and him have become good friends on here, and he has a wonderful channel, a fun channel. They go out and they're real outdoorsy, and do a lot of fun things. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, yeah. I heard a quote the other day. It was a man talking, and he said, I can't remember exactly how he said it, but the gist of what he was saying was, you're never going to get good at something if you don't fail trying it. It was the gist of what he said. He said that if you're not willing to fail doing something, then pretty much you're not willing to learn and to master what you're doing. Yeah. 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 Failing to try. Yeah. Yeah, we've got to be willing to make mistakes in order to learn. If If we don't make mistakes, then we're not going to learn a lot of times. Especially when it comes to sustainability and skills that are prudent to survival. There's going to be failures in that. It's also pretty much in general. If any time there is a living thing in the middle of it, whether it be plants, animals, people, if there's not a failure, then probably something's wrong. Because you have to fail to learn sometimes.
Let me see. I just somehow started talking to you on here, Dylan's mom,
and Dylan Carter's aunt and my father-in-law. So I was frazzled. Bless your heart. With much hunting and hunting treatment.
It's a family tradition for us as well. Being able
to provide for our family is what we love to do. Absolutely. Yeah. 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 We need to. And speaking of that, I was watching a video the other day, and it was a young man. He was talking about millennials, and I'm a millennial myself. I'm on the tail end of the millennials. I was born in the late to mid 90s, and I'm on the tail end of being a millennial. And he said, what's crazy is that our grandparents knew these skills. Our parents did everything they could to get away from the skills, and now the millennials are turning back around and trying to relearn the skills that our parents tried to forget from their parents. And it's funny how that cycle has came around. It's just been a generation or two that we've lost the skills that now we're trying to gain back. For whatever reason, in the middle of these couple generations, they decided that those skills that our grandparents had, and our great grandparents and their great grandparents had were not useful anymore. And now we're finding out really fast that those are skills that are vital for life, that those are skills that we need to know, that we need to know where our food comes from, and we need to know how to grow our own food, and we need to know how to make our own food, and we need to learn how to cook our own food, and we need to learn how to hunt our own food, and to find our own food, and to make our own medicines, and it's crazy that those were skills that were lost and forgotten, and now we're scratching and climbing back up this hill and this mountain and trying to get those skills back because they're so vital. And for whatever reason, it was somebody made the decision along the line and thought it wasn't a good idea. And boy, were they wrong. Boy, were they wrong. We need these skills. We need these skills for survival and sustainability. It's crazy. It's crazy. One thing I love about this community, though, is not only are we scratching and climbing and trying to find these skills for ourselves, but we're teaching others. We're teaching other people and putting it out in the world that these skills are important, and this is how we learn these skills, and this is how you can learn these skills. That's what I love it. I love everything about it. That's why you always see our kids out in nature learning. It's great for their imagination. They are learning and not even knowing it. Absolutely. 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 That's one thing. That's one thing about it. This is, yeah. The Homestead YouTube community is amazing. I love seeing your daughter cooking in the kitchen. Yeah, she's a little chef. That girl is. She loves it. She loves it, and what I love about it is that her poor little mom didn't know how to hardly boil water. Bless my heart, I didn't know how to do nothing when me and my husband got together hardly, and he had a lot of burnt meals and a lot of just flop. Um, but his mom taught him those skills. He's an amazing cook. And so he passed those skills on to me, and I get to pass those skills on to my daughter, and it's amazing. And she just has such a she has such a desire to be in the kitchen. She loves to help in the kitchen. It was good doing, but glad we're done. So funny, yeah. She loves being in the kitchen. She loves being part of that, and it makes my heart so warm. I'm terrible in the kitchen. You know what? If I'm gonna be honest with you, I hated cooking. I hated being in the kitchen, and I hated cooking, and it was because I didn't know how to do it. And so I would try something and I would fail at it, and I would try it again and I'd fail at it, and I'd try it again and I'd fail at it. And me and my husband have been together for 10 years, and in the last year I've learned how to cook pork chops the good way. I've learned how to fry pork chops where the bread doesn't fall off of them and where they're actually good. And it seems like here recently, in the last couple years, I've actually learned how to season food properly, and I love it now. I love being in the kitchen now, and and cooking. But I'm really nervous when I have to cook for people outside of my family. Like, it's easy when it's just me and Lakin and Andy at home, and I cook, and I'm like, oh yeah, this is easy. And then when I have to make somebody, pork chop out. Where you at? No, I haven't made a pork chop video. I'm kind of nervous. When you're videoing, it seems like something always goes wrong. And then you watch. If I make a pork chop video, I'll mess it up. I'll mess it up, and then y'all be like, she don't know how to make pork chops. She said she did, but she don't. So, no, I haven't put a pork chop video out. But I like being in the kitchen now, and I like cooking for our little family, but it seems like no sooner I have to cook for anybody outside of the family, I get so nervous. And I'm like, I'm going to mess this up, and it's not going to turn out right, or they're not going to like it, or I'll burn it, or something will go wrong. Um, but I'm getting there. Uh, it just takes a little time. It takes a little time. My main goal, though, I told my mother-in-law last year around this time, I have not found a bread recipe like a good daily like sandwich bread recipe. Um, and I've tried and I've failed and I've tried and I've failed and I've tried and I've failed, and I'm gonna keep on trying and failing. But y'all, I found a new recipe. You'll do fine. Just say this is real life. I found a new recipe this year on dinner rolls, and I had tried so many different dinner roll recipes, and I typically do not make dinner rolls any other time but like Christmas and Thanksgiving, when we have family gatherings. And I made a dinner roll this year, and everybody liked it, which everybody liked the dinner rolls last year, but it was something about them that was like really heavy. They were like a really dense, heavy roll. They had a good taste. They were a good yeast roll, but they were just a real heavy roll. And I found a recipe, and guys, the video is coming. The video is coming. I have a roll recipe in the works right now. Making a video for you all. But this dough and this yeast roll is so airy and yummy. Oh, it's so good. And my husband told me that was the best dinner roll that he had ever ate, and that he absolutely loved them. And so I have got the dinner roll recipe. Hopefully it'll be up maybe sometime this week. But I've got the roll recipe, and it's so simple, and it's just a really easy. It's an easy roll, and so if you need one, hopefully I'll have one up for you guys. But my goal is to find a good, like, daily bread, like a good sandwich bread, that's not real heavy. Um, maybe I could use the same. Maybe I could use the same recipe I used for the dinner roll, because it's a good airy bread. No, that's a thought. I love homemade bread. Yeah, me and you both. Me and you both. I love homemade bread. There's nothing like just a yeast roll, or or sourdough bread. I mean, there's nothing like it. Now, I do not have sourdough. I know a lot of you ladies probably on here got your sourdough and stuff like that, and it's it intimidates me. I'm intimidated by sourdough. It intimidates me, and I don't know. It's kind of scary to me to even go down the road of sourdough. If anybody on here right now on the chat has sourdough, is it worth the time and effort you put into seeding the starter and stuff like that? Is it hard to keep the starter alive? Because I feel like that is the stigma that goes around sourdough, is the starter, and how hard it is to keep it alive. You'd like to learn how to make homemade bread? Oh, Cassidy, it's so good. It's so good. Well, watch my roll recipe, and then you can try the rolls. It's a really simple. I wouldn't lie to you. It's it's a simple way to make rolls, and if I can do it, you can do it, because you got all kinds of skills I don't have. So. So is it? You said babysit it. So is it like babysitting it?
I just don't know.
See, that's what I'm thinking. Like, I don't have hardly. I'm so busy. I stay so busy, and like, it's
It seems like the last
year, last 2 years have been so unbelievably busy for us, and I don't have hardly time of day to get much done. Great chat. I enjoyed this, but I gotta go take a nap now. Take care, everyone. Thank you for popping in, Dawn. I appreciate it so much. I appreciate it. Bye. Bye. I hope you have a wonderful day.
wonderful nap.
Actually, I hope you have a wonderful nap. It'd be nice to take a nap. You know what, though? I can't take naps. It seems like.
Well, I say that. Used to, I couldn't take.
It seems like the last 2 years where I'm getting
close to 30.
It seems like I can take more naps now than I could when I was on the low end of 20s and teens. Now it seems like if it's real quiet, I can get a nap in every once in a while. But it's rare when I actually have the time to take a nap. Naps are important, though. See, that's the thing, is, like, would I remember to feed the starter every day? Chances are probably not. And so I don't know. I love the idea of a sourdough. I love the idea of, like, people passing, like, their sourdough on to one another, and generations of passing this sourdough to this sourdough to this sourdough. And I don't want to say it and it sound like it's dramatic as it just came out of my mouth. But I just feel like sourdough and me probably, maybe when life slows down. I don't know. that's like, ain't that like the number one quote? Like, ain't that what everybody says? Maybe when I slow down, I'll get this or do that. But I really don't have the time. I don't think. No, I ain't never tried it. Sorry guys, my nose is running. It's cold out here. I ain't really had the time to. Right now, I feel do the sourdough. We're right in the middle of the homeschool year. Man, it's a task. Just bookwork, 2 hours a day, just in bookwork, or an hour and 30 minutes, or around 2 hours, just in bookwork, and then farm chores and household things. I just don't know where I could fit a sourdough starter in that. Let me see here. I was checking my battery life, making sure I wasn't getting ready to just drop off on you guys. I appreciate everybody that's popped in, man. We've talked about everything from chickens to deer to sourdough to everything. I wanted to tell you all, though, I've got a video that's going to be coming out in the next couple days. But we are making some big decisions around here. Mainly one of the big decisions is to sell our entire goat herd. We are looking into maybe putting goats on pause for a while. Actually, we always find it is always fun getting on here and talking to everybody. Which is coming out in the video. It's kind of randomly put in the middle of the video. But we're looking into selling out of our goats. And it's kind of bittersweet because I've got years into these goats. And I hate to end this on a sad note. It sounds so sad. But it's going to be better. It's going to come better. But we've got years into the goats, and we are just looking into maybe selling the entire herd. And just trying something a little bit different on the farm. Maybe it's going to open up some more avenues, maybe getting being able to raise beef on the farm. It's a lot. That's what it is. It's the feed. We're feeding them, and do I want to really continue to feed them or sell them and turn around and put the feed into us? Now we can eat the goat, but I'd much rather have beef or pork. We eat a lot of pork and beef, and how much better would it be, and how much more money would we save instead of buying local pork or local beef, buying our own beef, or buying our own beef cow and raising our own beef and feeding our own beef what we want it fed, and not filling it full of whatever, like they do, and having our own beef, or having the goats. And that's kind of what it's come in between. And we're just looking for something different, and I've talked about it for years now. Actually, some of the very first videos that I posted on this channel was talking about the goats and the trials that have come with the goats, and how that specific breed is just a really hard breed to raise, and they're just a hard breed to raise. And if you don't know what you're doing, it can just be, hopefully you have, see, the thing about it is we have two, maybe 3 acres. Well, this farm is an entire 3 acres, with access to our neighbor's pasture that he doesn't use, but just for beef cattle as well. And he just has a small herd of like 10, and we can use that that acreage to feed our animals on, just like we can use ours. It's just, he's allowed us to use it for cattle. He's allowed us to use it for horses, and that's about 20 acres over there. So 24 acres that we can run beef on, that we've ran horses on, that we've ran beef on before. Um, but we got rid of the beef um, and moved to horses, and then we got rid of the horses, and now we just have acreage just sitting. So much so that the bottom acreage here, which is about 2 acres, has having to be mowed all summer because there's nothing out there to eat um, the pasture away. And so we have the acreage. We don't we're not using it. It's wasting. Luckily around us, beef and pork from local small farms are thriving. It seems people would rather have local meat from local farmers. Yeah. See, I mean, we just have it's, but the acreage that we can use, our neighbor's acreage back here that we can use, is not set up for goats, and so we wouldn't be able to graze the goats back there, and so because of that, we're spending, you know, more money on feed, and we could move the goats around, but do we want to do that? And so that's what it's come down to is, we're just wanting to take other avenues, and sadly, the goats are just not part of the program anymore, and I'm kind of it's bittersweet because I am attached to them. I love my goats. I mean, raised I've raised these goats. Some of them from babies. Some of them from out of the womb. Just it's sad. But then I'm a farmer, and I've got to do what's right for the animal. I've got to do what's right for us, and so that's the sad news. But on the other hand, the good news is that we, when the goats sell, if the goats sell, if I'm able to sell the goats, and we're able to move on to other greener pastures, including beef cattle, we can also expand our rabbitry. And so, if you all have watched in recent videos, we have gotten 2 new rabbits, one of which is we got 2 Rexes. They're pedigreed mini Rexes. I was told at first that they were standard, or I thought. I don't want to put that on somebody because I thought that the female was standard and the male was mini, but that might have been my mistake. And so I thought at first that the female was standard and the male was mini. But the paperwork was sent to me, and they both are minis. And so we have decided that we're going to gear more towards the Rex breed of rabbits. Now, in our mind right now, we're thinking that we're going to keep Pipsqueak, who has babies right now. Obviously, we wouldn't be able to get rid of her until her babies are gone. Yeah, the rabbits are absolutely beautiful, and we're super excited about the possibilities. But you all probably seen the video, but they've opened up like other possibilities for us, and so having that different breed here, including having connections, hopefully maybe to 4-H, and we got them from a really good breeder, so I'm hoping that we can have some connections through that as well. But and if you know anything about me, I love rabbits. I love breeding and selling rabbits, and I found that's something that I've found that is profitable and helpful on our farm. It's something that's made me a very happy farmer and homesteader. And so because of that, we've had to make room. And today I sold 2 of our rabbits. And y'all are probably going to think I'm nuts, but as you all know, we got the Rex rabbits. Our little boy that we named Manly, or Mr. Wilder, he is still a baby. He's only like 2 months old, so he's not going to be able to breed for a while. And then our doe, Beth, and they're both in quarantine still. You know, there's no contact with the other rabbits. Um, and so, and then Beth, our beautiful Rex doe. Um, we got those two. Well, I sold Honey and Rover. Um, y'all probably haven't seen much of Honey. I kept her. She was a keepback um, from Clover's her second kidding. Um, and she was a gorgeous, gorgeous rabbit, beautiful. Um, and I kept her back to be a brood though. She's 4 months old, and so I wasn't gonna breed her yet. You all know my rule is 6 months or older. Um, and so I kept her back, and then I sold Rover. And you all know Rover is our main breeding buck. He is the only buck that I had on the farm that was old enough to breed. And so I've done something kind of crazy and sold out of my only breeding buck right now. But, and that's what I told Andy. I said, am I nuts for selling out of him so quickly? You see my phone's about to die. I'm going to have to get on the charger. Am I nuts for selling out of him and not having nothing to breed to right now? But I kind of sort of do. So when I kept Honey back, I kept her brother Blue, and a lot of you all love Blue. I know there's been a lot of comments about how beautiful he is, and he is gorgeous. He is a gorgeous guy. Let me see if it's charging now. I don't know if it is or not. Okay, he is a gorgeous guy, and so I kept him back, and he is going to be able to breed. And y'all, I got myself in a mess. He's going to be able to breed in a couple months. He's 4 months old. He'll be able to breed in just a few months, which will put us around springtime, obviously, when we can have babies. There we go. Now I'm going to put it in this outlet, maybe that'll help. And so, we kept Blue back, and he'll be my main breeder until we can get Manly situated. And so that's kind of throwing the breeding plan off just a little bit, selling Rover. But I wanted to make more space. And like I said, we're just kind of making big decisions right now. You know, we're seeing different avenues that we can go down, different ways that we can move this around to be more sustainable, more profitable. And so we always got to, think, is something given or taken away? And I've kept so many babies back from him. And so Rover is gone. Now he went to another, him and Honey both went together. He is going to go to a family that lives, they're about 30 minutes away from us, 35 minutes I think is what he said. And they are working through and towards sustainability. And so he wanted some meat rabbits, and Rover will, I'm sure, be a great addition to his meat rabbit production and help for him. And so that's the big things that's been going on around here. I know some people's probably going to get upset with me. A few people left when I said I was selling the goat. Quite a few people dropped off. And I hate to be so sad about it. But we're just hopefully going to work towards more, to what is going to be helpful for our family. And so that's what's going on. Now the new video, guys, that should be coming out, I've got it done and edited, and it should be uploaded in the next couple days. If fingers crossed, if everything goes good. Sometimes it takes videos a while to upload. But we have organized and redid the barn, and put the rabbitry together in a more organized way. And so y'all stay tuned for that video, and y'all watch for that video, because it looks so nice. I'm so excited. And like I said, selling the goats is going to open up more opportunity for the rabbits. I can take more of the barn up and use it for the rabbits, and put that towards that. And so I'm super excited, and I'm just happy, and anticipating and wondering what lies ahead for our little farm, our little homestead. Hopefully it all goes up from here, and we just continue to find what our niche is, and to find what we're good at. Like we were talking about earlier, there's not success without failure. There's not success without actually trying, and putting in and putting time and effort into things. And so the goats have served us for a time, and we've put time and effort and a lot of failure and a lot of trial into those goats, and they're a wonderful herd now. They're we've got the goats down to a pretty strong herd genetically, and health-wise. They do pretty decent. They haven't had anything come up for a long time besides Nala's abscess that she had the other day. And so we've got a good herd now, and I've put a lot of time into it, and now I'm ready to pass that on to somebody else, and allow them to enjoy the goats like we have, and have their own little herd that they can learn and succeed and fail from. And so I guess I'm sitting here thinking about it, and we're in November, and we're getting ready to come into January, and so you can always, I'm trying to think positive. When I think about it too much, I'm getting ready to cry. When I think about it too much, it's hard. It's hard because, I've raised them up, and they're beautiful. I don't want to cry. I'm trying not to cry. I'm trying not to cry. I love them so much. But there's a season for everything. There's a season for everything. And so hopefully we can go into this new year is smarter, and but always willing to learn people, and hopefully we can go into this new year changed and a little different. And so they might not sell. The goats, I might be stuck with the goats for the rest of my living days. I don't know. I don't know. We've tried to sell them in years past as a herd, and they've not sold. But maybe they might. They might sell. I've had a couple offers, and so we'll just have to see where it goes. But I'm excited for the change. Me and Andy have talked about it, and he's excited for the change. I don't know about Lakin. I'd say she's going to be pretty sad about it. But it's time to figure things out, and so I just wanted to let you all know, and it's coming out in the video, and I just kind of nonchalantly put it in a video, and it just moved on to a different subject, because it's hard to talk about. And people don't like to hear it sometimes. I don't even like to hear it. Kinda. I don't know. But anyways, guys, we've been on here for 70 minutes and 9 seconds. So I think I'm gonna pop off here, especially since my phone is like it popped up and said 20%. So we are low. But I appreciate you all coming and hanging out with me, and there's been a lot of people on here, and we've learned a lot of things. I'm gonna have to look up those chickens y'all were talking about. I'm gonna have to go back through here and see what kind of chickens those were, and we're gonna have to figure out what kind of chickens those are and really look into them. But I appreciate you all being here and hanging out with us, and all the support you all give. You all, this is a wonderful community, and so many of you people are so supportive and just wonderful people, and you can see it. You can see it in the comments and the encouragement that you give to me and that you give to other people, and it's wonderful, and I'm so thankful for it. I'm so thankful for this community. I'm blessed by it. It's truly a blessing to have the support that we have from you all, and the friendships that we get to share, miles away and like worlds away, and and things like that. Is amazing. That the connections that I've made and the friendships that I've created. Yeah, it's awesome. It's awesome. So I appreciate you all hanging out with me and us having this little chit chat and the encouragement that you all have given me, and I hope that we can do it next Sunday, Lord willing, if we're alive. Hello from Canada. That's what I thought when I seen your little flag. But it's awesome. It's so great that ain't it great that we can connect from miles apart, from worlds apart, and it's amazing, and I appreciate it. I appreciate it so much. You got a laugh out of it too. I appreciate it so much, and I'm so thankful for you all, and I hope the Lord blesses you all, and you all have a wonderful evening, and spend all the time you can with your family and your loved ones, and we're getting ready to have Thanksgiving supper. They're working on it on the inside right now, but I appreciate it so much, and I hope that you all have a wonderful evening, and I hope that we can see you on the next one. We'll see you later. Bye.